Welcome to Module 6. So, does the size of the penis matter? The answer is yes, and the answer is no. With exceptions, it matters to men and it doesn't matter to women. Men who worry that their penis is too small can become obsessed with a never-ending search for devices and medical intervention. Some even think about surgery that falsely promises a penis like a porn star has. Many men think that's so important, but in 25 plus years of clinical practice, I've never had a woman tell me that sex problems in her marriage were based on the size of the man's penis. Women worry much more about their own bodies, their stretch marks, their weight gain, their breasts that aren't as perky after nursing, and so on. Some women worry unnecessarily that there's something wrong with their labia, the inner and outer lips around the vagina. Sadly, some people of both genders fall victim to unethical surgeons or supposedly magical medications. Trust me, your vulva or your penis is beautiful just as it is. You don't need surgery to make your penis or labia look different. Each is a flower with its own beauty. Men who think their penises are too small worry that they can never be great lovers. They may even avoid sex because they imagine that the moment of entry of a large penis into a wet vagina is thrilling to a woman, while entry by a penis that is supposedly too short or too thin is a disappointment. Really, that's hardly ever the case. Sometimes the penis is felt to be too big for comfort. A very petite woman and a man with a large penis may find that attempts at penetration always cause pain, especially in a woman who has never given birth. A 45-year-old client told me that in spite of longing to have a family, he had remained single because, he said, my dick is too small and I just can't face having another woman turn me down because I want to continue the relationship. Of course, he was attributing the common experience of relationships that don't work out until one does to the size of his penis. Men like this don't seem to know that intercourse itself is not the main event to most women. Why? Because it's what happens to her beautiful small clitoris, her pearl, that makes the difference, both in how excited she gets and in whether she reaches orgasm. Are there exceptions to the idea that size doesn't matter? Yes, as in everything about sex, what you tell yourself can have profound effects on your experience. Let's talk about breasts for a minute. It's well known that some men prefer large breasts and may even feel that a woman whose breasts are small or average isn't sexy. Does the amount of fatty tissue around the nipple of a woman's breast affect her responsiveness? Not a bit, unless one or both of you think it does. It works the other way too. Some men dislike large breasts. They say, what am I supposed to do with these? I've heard it all. But my heart breaks at times for people who suffer needless pain about these preconceived ideas. One lovely 23-year-old client once told me she hated to be in the woman above position because she felt her breasts were too small, and in that position, she said, my breasts are on full display. Though very fit and attractive, she felt her breasts were too small. Now here are some principles that can change everything about your worries about size. First of all, you've heard this on other modules perhaps, your most important sex organ is where? Right, between your ears. This means that what you think and feel about any body part is the most important thing. Second, sexual pleasure and joy are available to any human being, period. This includes being 93 years old, having cancer or some other medical problem, being fat, being skinny, being an amputee, being a quadriplegic, and having a body part you think is too small or too big. Third principle, a paralyzed person can give pleasure and orgasm to a partner who's willing to get in the right position and receive. And of course, that's an example of the idea that sex is for everybody. Fourth, a man who has lost his erectile ability completely, which is very rare, he can still provide abundant arousal, pleasure, and orgasm with his hands, mouth, knees, or sex toys. Principle 5. Anal sex often works better for the woman if the man's penis is small. A large penis can cause her pain, though being very slow and gentle and using a lot of lubricant can help. But with a smaller penis, the fit may be just right. Use a sex toy or either of your hands to stimulate the clitoris during anal sex. Of course, anal sex needs to be discussed before experimenting with it, and some people just don't like it regardless. It's a matter of personal choice. If you do experiment with it to avoid infection, be sure to wash your hands and your genitals before going back to vaginal penetration. So those are the facts about size. And now we come to the action steps. First of all, attitude change, so important. First, learn to think differently about having a small penis. You have nothing to apologize for. Variations in the human body are as common as sunshine. Use your concern about this as a motivator to learn how to please a woman with great skill. Try putting a pillow under her bottom, offer lots of oral sex, and doing anything else you can to help her come first. Be very clear that you can be just as satisfying as a lover as any other man, especially if you become an expert in clitoral stimulation. That's what separates the men from the boys. Tell your partner that you always want her to come first, if she wants to, and learn what she needs for that. She may be one of the many women who love oral sex. She may love it if you stroke her G-spot at the same time. She may have other preferences. Gently ask her, listen attentively, and act on what she tells you. You can't go wrong. Action step number 3. If size is an issue for you, try to find the courage to bring it up for discussion. You are both likely to become more comfortable after that. This may not be easy, but it's worthwhile. You can say, I think I'm smaller than some guys, and it makes me want to really know what you like and how I can give you as much pleasure as possible. Action step number 4. Experiments that might be worth trying include anal sex, mentioned earlier, cock rings, vibrators, and other sex toys. There are sleeves which you put on like a condom, which can add girth and length. Number 5, this is a don't action step. Please don't seek out invasive procedures like surgery, which claims it will stretch your penis or add implants to increase size. These surgeries can be very dangerous, and none of them has been proven effective. Number 6, remember that always and forever your most important sex organ, again, is between your ears. When you ask women what they want in a lover, they talk about kindness, sensitivity, sense of humor, and the ability to turn them on, usually by being able to say things that open their hearts.